Hello everybody. It's a beautiful sunshiny day as you can see, and it's really hot, and we're out and about today. I've got my daughter Rebekah with me. She is producing this film for me today, and I want to show you something. I want to show you some wild grapes. I know that probably you have heard of wild grapes before. Maybe you have not actually ever seen them in the wild, and these are growing. They're just wild grapes growing. Nobody planted them or cultivated them. They're just wild growing on their own. And so I have some right here that we found. Rebekah, come up here and let them see. Okay, this is a little bunch of wild grapes here. See, they're black or dark purple. And these are the leaves. This is the shape of the leaf right here. And, you know, I've lived out here all my life. And so I know a lot of the plants out here because I just grew up out here. So these are very easy for me to identify. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these wild grapes, and there's several names that they go by. Now my dad taught me to call them bullises. That's what we've always called them. So bullises, wild grapes, muscadine, that is all names for this grape. So I'm going to pick some of them. Got my little bucket here. They're ready. We've already tasted them. They taste marvelous. I don't know if you've ever heard the little saying, Concord grapes are pretty good grapes, but wild grapes are better. And so this is wild grapes. They're better. I'm going to pick them, and I'm going to take them home, and I'm going to make some wild grape jam with them. So right here, I'm just going to pick some off, put them in this bucket. They're just in little bunches. You can just pick them off in a bunch, just like that. They come off very easily because they're very ripe. They are just ready to pick. So, see, look at there. There's another bunch. They just come right off in your hand. And I wanted to make this little short video to show you where I'm getting my wild grapes from, so that when I make the muscadine jam, you will understand the process that I have gone through to get the grapes, to bring them home, and make the jam. So I just wanted you to see that, and I hope y'all have a good day, and we'll get with you in a little bit when I actually make the jam. Okay, we have come up on another bunch of wild grapes. I showed you earlier that we were picking wild grapes just down the road here a little bit in the woods. We found another bunch of them. So we're going to pick these two. And I'm going to let my daughter pick these.
So here I am. It's my turn to pick the wild grapes. And thanks to Mom for teaching me how to be a wild woman. Hunter-gatherer. So here we go. Picking wild grapes.
Let's get up on these.
An abundance of grapes this year, it seems like, at least in this area.
Just get a bunch and hold them where we can see them.
Okay.
And they can see them.
There's some.
Okay, good.
Those are kind of dried up.
I'm gonna show y'all this vine here. I don't know if you can see all of those grapes up there. I think you can. There is just grapes everywhere. Like Rebekah said, this is just a good year for wild grapes. It does not happen this way every year with the wild grapes. It does not happen this way every year with the blackberries or the wild cherries.
It really doesn't happen this way every year with anything. It seems
right.
Like even the fig tree that she has, even the pear tree that she has, sometimes they produce a lot and sometimes they just don't.
Yeah.
But whenever they have a lot of fruit on them, you might as well just capitalize on it and do like she does and make jelly or can it and something.
Right, exactly, because like last year, my back field, our blackberry bushes were just covered. We're just covered with blackberries. So I picked, and I've put them up, and that's a good thing because this year my blackberry bushes had hardly anything on them. The wild cherry tree only had just a very few cherries, whereas last year it was covered, and I just picked those as well. So it's like Rebekah said, whenever we've got a lot of vehicles going by here, we're right on the edge of a highway, and so that you can probably hear them. But whenever the fruit makes, just like Beck said, capitalize on it, pick it, put it up, use it, save it just as much as you can, because you don't know what the next year is going to bring.
Even if you don't know how to can stuff or preserve it in any way, you can always just wash them and throw them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer.
Exactly. If you don't have time to make anything out of them at that particular time, if you've only got time to pick them, just like Rebekah said, pick them, wash them, put them in Ziploc bags, throw them in the freezer. And when you have time later, you can make something with them. In fact, I've got blackberries in my freezer right now that I'm going to make a blackberry cobbler. Me and Rebekah are while she's here. And I'm going to make blackberry jam. So that way you don't lose the fruit.